So for Bitcoin right now, current target $24,457. What is up, guys? North Digital Assets coming at you with another video. I've got a really good video lined up for you because we have some movements in the market, finally. And we're going to take a look at a few things. Number one, we're going to take a look at the DXY real quick. And I posted this on Twitter. And basically what I'm saying is when you create this high here on the DXY, the last high, you start to come back down. When you come up, if you start to reject again, that's when you can drop this trend line in there. And that's what you need to reject again later to... In crypto and stocks, this would be a dead cat bounce. So every time it tries to come up, it would hit it and roll. So right now we've come back into this 110 range, and right now we are below it, but really it depends. You can see these wicks here. Really it depends where it closes and where it closes over the coming days and what it does. Does it chop in here? Does it try to come back up? Does it roll? What we really need, best case scenario, is you fall below this channel, and 110 is the resistance. It's the resistance, and that's when it starts to roll. And anything it tries to do outside of here, it hits it. Even if it's over here, it hits the blue line and continues to roll. In confluence with this, which is really beautiful, is if we just go to the weekly here, we take a look. I mean, obviously, this thing did a W double bottom down here and just went on a massive, crazy run. So it could easily be time for a correction when we take a look. But if we go to the monthly stock RSI, and I posted this on Twitter the other day, here you have the blue line out here leading the pink line. You have it already pointing down. Obviously, what you would want is this line to come down like this, and typically that's what happens when you look at the DXY all the way back to the 1960s. That's what happens is when it spends a lot of time up here, it always has a reversal back to the downside. And again, this is the monthly time frame, so it's very zoomed out, and it's showing you what's going to happen the months and months ahead, as I have written here. When this happens, usually just this blue line that I just dropped in here, that's 200 plus days, up to 300 days, 400 days of sideways or correction down for the DXY, which is big for stock markets and crypto market. Bitcoin here, we felt we lost support. Wish we would have called it a long time ago. Wish we would have called it at 30K and said, you know what, we're going to fall to 18K, 20K, sell everything and get back in. I wish I would have called that. You know, hindsight's 2020. It is what it is. But anyways, we lose support. We come down. What happens is we bounce. We come through this rising wedge. Right here is where we lose support. Right when you lose support of this yellow trend line right here, you lose that support. That's when you start to fall. And what happens is you fall to the base of the rising wedge, which we did. But while you're doing that, you're creating this falling wedge. When you break that, it's back to where you came from. So that is this white line I have dropped in here, which is 24,500, which is the top of this yellow trend line here, the top of this falling wedge, and that is the target as long as you hold support. Looking at the monthly on Bitcoin, again, look at the stock RSI here on the monthly. It is the exact opposite of what's going on with the DXY. When you zoom in here, you are at roughly 2.94, near zero on this stock RSI, this momentum indicator. So eventually this blue is going to scoop up, and you're going to start having that hundreds of days to the upside. Now, it doesn't mean every day is an up day. Obviously, there's red days, and everything moves in waves. It doesn't happen overnight. In confluence with that, check this out here, Bitcoin unrealized profit and loss. What you see here is every time you get green, on the way to green, you are looking at the words here on the right. So when you have a high price, you're having greed, then denial, then anxiety, then fear, then you finally get to green, capitulation here. Then when you are coming out of the capitulation, you're looking at the words on the left here. So coming out of it, it would be hope, optimism, belief, euphoria, and a high price. So basically here, we have had two sections of green here. Coming out of green would be, as you can see, coming out of this green, eventually when you get that momentum, first you get the hope, then you get the optimism, then you get the belief. And there's also some disbelief in there too. Disbelief is part of the rally for anyone who wasn't in the market, who was waiting for $14,000, $15,000 Bitcoin. Again, my opinion has been that waiting for $14,000, $15,000 Bitcoin, even now, whether this pump happened or not, just like I said in the video the other day, is far too risky to be out of the market for when this thing does finally turn. And in confluence with that, we have other things to look at, as in when you pull the weekly heat map, again, you have spent the most time that we've seen, the longest known time we've ever seen under this 200 line on the weekly heat map, and it's all dark blue, and the line's all dark blue. And typically when you're under it, obviously pump. When you're under it, pump, okay? But when you go back, it doesn't matter how far you go back, even here, okay, look what you get. So we've just spent the longest time under it. Also, Bitcoin balance on exchanges, we have seen the lowest balance on exchanges that we've seen in the last couple years, just this last week, okay? So the balance on exchanges, as in supply and demand, is down still, okay? So for Bitcoin right now, current target $24,457. If you start to find some support above that, best case scenario would be to rise above that and actually back test to support, okay? Come above this level, back test to support before moving on, not just exploding to the sky. Because what happens if you just explode to the sky, you got to come back and back test those zones anyways if there's that big inefficiency in there, okay? So you got inefficiencies in there, and in here up to this area. Actually, this is a 34,000 area. You have these wicks out here. Out here, you can barely see that. But those inefficiencies, what you want is you want to come up, back test that area before moving on. You know that all this moves in waveforms like we always talk about. And if that happens, guys, what we are looking at is coming up above this 24.5, finding a support, and then starting to get some momentum up. We are all but confirmed that the bottom is in. The bottom was in June, and we're going to start heading towards $30,000. That is my take on the market. If we take a look at Bitcoin liquidations, this is pretty crazy here. In the past 24 hours, 196,000 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming at 1.48 billion. Largest single liquidation order happened on OKEx. Somebody got liquidated for $3 million. And check this stat out. Given the recovery, short traders have suffered the worst of it. Data from CoinGlass shows that over 87% of all liquidations recorded in the past day have been from short traders, from the bears, okay? If you just keep betting and betting and betting with the majority who says it's going to go down to 14,000 Bitcoin or 15,000 Bitcoin, or that Bitcoin has to keep going down even though most major metrics show near bottom, that we don't have to, that, like I said in my video about a month ago, that the path of most pain could definitely be just more sideways, 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 and we did get a lot of sideways, so pretty crazy, a lot of bears getting liquidated. So as far as altcoins, right now, they could definitely be lagging behind Bitcoin. Bitcoin just started moving in the last couple days. If we remove all drawings and we shut this off and we just kind of zoom in here, two big green candles, 2 days in a row, nice movement of roughly from body to body, 8% in the last 2 days, about 4% and about 4%. So Bitcoin just started moving. So give your altcoins time. Your altcoins don't necessarily follow and chase Bitcoin that quickly. They can be lagging. They can be behind a little bit, although Cardano did have a nice movement. But it could definitely take some time for these altcoins to actually kick into gear and catch up to Bitcoin. Bitcoin could actually go on a run by itself and leave a lot of altcoins behind and gain dominance. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But overall, I like where the market is. Like I've said, DCA in at that 18,000, 19,000 range. Continue to buy when you can. Like I've said, it's too risky to not be in the markets. And I've been in, and I'm going to stay in. And if it goes to $14,000 or $15,000, which is still possible, that's fine. This is off probabilities. The probability is to the upside. The probability is to the upside. Even if that does happen, then I'll buy some more stuff for even even lower. But we're going off probabilities here and support and resistance. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video, guys, and we will catch you in the next one. Like and subscribe, and we'll cover some altcoins hopefully tomorrow or the next day, but this week let's cover some altcoins. That's it for this video, and we will see you in the next one. See ya.